As severe weather events become more common throughout the world, the Great Lakes region is being talked about as a potential safe haven from some of the worst effects of climate change. I'm here with Great Lakes Now contributor Stephen Starr, who wrote about how different communities in the region are preparing for and thinking about climate migration. Stephen, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
From what you found, is climate migration something that's happening here at a large scale, or are we just seeing the early stages of it?
Right, and this is the big question that people in communities around the Great Lakes want to know, and also people planners, like planners, whether it's residents, and also people in other parts of the country as well. And the answer, I guess, is that we're not seeing yet a large scale of this migration of people from other parts of the country to the Great Lakes region. Now, there's one kind of exception to that, and that is the Puerto Rican community that has grown and developed in Buffalo over about the last decade or so since Hurricane Maria in 2017. We've seen tens of thousands of people move from Puerto Rico to Buffalo, New York. But outside of that, it's not something that's been happening on a very large scale. And that's something I think that a lot of folks who live in the Great Lakes, from planners to residents, are happy about. I guess that we're not seeing this mass migration.
In your reporting, you state how, as of summer 2025, Buffalo was the last city in the lower 48 states to have never reached 100 degrees. Why do you think Buffalo has embraced this title of climate haven, and what are they doing to support or attract climate migrants?
The city of Buffalo has made some efforts to attract, to place itself and position itself as a place for so-called climate migrants where they could live. There's obviously a bunch of pluses for that. The more people who live in a particular place, and for example, Buffalo, it increases the tax revenue that the city might get, income tax, property taxes as well. But there's still lots of challenges, right? The fact that infrastructural updates need to be made, and it's an issue right across Great Lakes cities. It's not just Buffalo, Cleveland, or, Detroit. Lots of different cities. The water situation in terms of providing and upgrading water systems, uh, lots of other infrastructure, whether it's roads and electricity. There's a bunch of different things out there. The housing, as I mentioned as well, older stock of houses, maybe they're not up to spec in terms of insulation and weatherization. So, there's opportunities out there, but there's still a host of challenges for cities that do like to mark themselves as destinations for climate migrants.
How are rural areas preparing for an influx of residents, especially as existing healthcare and housing infrastructure is already kind of struggling in some of these places?
Yeah, it's a big challenge, and it's certainly easier for cities and metro areas to make plans ahead into the future because they do have these larger budgets. For smaller communities, rural communities, and townships, it's a much bigger challenge. Um, but simultaneously, they are already facing the effects of outward migration, and so it's important in for them to maintain their population levels if they want medical or other schools, education facilities at all, right? So it's a really tricky and difficult balancing act that these smaller rural communities are facing. They're losing population as it is, and they do need to maintain that, obviously, to keep the services and facilities that they have. Again, it's not clear to folks how many people may arrive or come to the region in the years ahead. It's happening at a very small scale. I think for the most part, the rural communities of the Great Lakes are generally um, positive about this. But there is a fear that, what will happen if there are hundreds of people moving in over the course of a few years. We're not seeing anything like temperatures again in the likes of Arizona or Texas. We're not seeing the likes of severe hurricanes in Florida expected to decrease or ease up in the years ahead. So it's something that could continue to be an issue. It's a big challenge for these communities as they try to figure out what the future could look like, right?